You know what's funny? What I do get is men who want to cook for me.
Oh.
And I'm just like, are you sure you want to do that?
Have you let a guy do that yet?
No.
Okay.
I have not.
That's like a big, that's a bold move from a guy because like if he impresses you, he's either in or you're like, get the fuck out. I don't want.
Get out of the kitchen.
Hey, I'm Derrick Fox, and you're listening to A Bunch of Losers. Mariah is my guest today. She was runner-up on Gordon Ramsay's latest hit TV show, Next Level Chef. We discussed the wrath of Gordon, getting to work with Chef Naisha Arrington, going from homeless to traveling the world, and of course, the notorious blind taste test. Let's go, loser. So for the viewers, we're rolling.
Yes, we're rolling. Okay.
And it's already a stressful start.
Yeah, I like stress. It gets me going.
Mariah Scott, runner-up of the first season of Next Level Chef.
Runner up. I hate that word.
Yeah, get used to it.
Makes me sound like I'm a loser.
Well, that's why the podcast is called A Bunch of Losers with Derrick Fox. Cheers.
Cheers. Salud. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for flying out.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back. I'm going to tell my joke again.
I like it. Do it again. It was corny, but I like it.
What do you call a MasterChef runner-up and a Next Level Chef runner-up when they walk into a bar?
I don't know. What do you call them?
$500,000 short.
Boom.
You're a good sport.
$500,000.
Okay, so I like to go back to where were you before you auditioned? What was going on in your life? And what got you into, like, what gave you the motivation to audition for Next Level Chef? Especially because this is a new show. It's not like you've seen it on TV and you're like, ooh, I'm going to go be on Hell's Kitchen or I'm going to be on MasterChef. You're on season 1.
Season 1.
Yeah.
Never in a million years would I ever thought I would be on a season 1 show of anything.
Right? That's crazy. You're season 1.
Yeah.
So you're forever the OG for as long as this show goes. So where were you before? What were you doing before you auditioned?
So before I auditioned, I was a private chef working for a family. I've always wanted to be on a cooking competition. That has always been something that's been like on my back burner. Like,
why?
It just seemed exhilarating, and I've always felt like I had like this star like inside of me, like this something to share on a wide scale. So I thought, why not like be on TV?
Yeah.
I know I can cook. I know I can create shit. And then when I heard about Next Level Chef and the concept of the show, I was like, this is the story of my life. So it's perfect.
How did the audition process happen? Did you search it out? Did someone bring Next Level Chef to you? How did you find out about Next Level Chef?
It was such a long process. I'm still trying to trace the steps of how it happened, but I believe I received an email.
Okay.
I think I received an email from like a casting company.
They weren't up in your DMs?
No, they were not in my DMs.
Okay.
I previously have done voiceovers and things like that.
Really?
And so I think I got contacted from a casting company that I did. This is all speculation. I'm just assuming.
Okay.
But I think I got it from like a casting company. Yeah.
Wow. What have you done voiceover on?
Just commercials. Like one for like a hair care. It was like a social media ad. And then another one was like some insurance company.
Dope.
Yeah.
A little bit of money.
A little bit. It's, nice to kind of, you audition, you send your tape in, you see what happens. So yeah.
I did a Samsung commercial.
Did you?
As a chef. And we had to flambe. They almost hired an actor to do the chef role. Mm-hmm. And they ended up making him like the boyfriend. And him and I were both auditioning for the chef role. And then literally the title of the commercial, like the role was Chef Flambe. And meaning like you're going to flambe in the commercial.
Right.
And he comes in for his audition and it's all just personality. And then he walked back in right before I was about to go into audition. He walked back and he goes, "What's flambe?" I was like, you don't want that guy flambe.
Oh my gosh. He doesn't even know.
But he had a great look and they made him the boyfriend, which was really good. And they also gave me the job. And then they were like, "Oh, you're actually a chef." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh.
And then we flambéed. So we had this like long table.
For Samsung? You flambéed?
Yeah. It was all about, we did this whole thing. I did like it was all about the phone and using the phone to like capture food photos. Okay. So there was me plating. It was like I was running a restaurant. So they had shots of me doing inventory on the phone and taking photos of the plates that I was, pretending to cook. And then I was like doing a tableside flambe for a bunch of guests. And so there's all these guests at the table. And then I'm at the end and they're running a test and there's a pyro guy. Like the pyro guy comes over and he hands me fucking Everclear.
Oh, so you were physically in the commercial. It wasn't just a voiceover.
Yeah. No, I was physically in it.
Okay, so you're like an actor.
Yeah, but only because I'm a chef and they needed a chef to do this because it was legit. And he's like, okay, so we're going to do a test run. And there's like this long table and then above is this like, it's a diffuser. So it's like this paper that's diffusing the lights so they're like softer.
Yeah.
And I pour the alcohol in the pan. They're like, let's do a test run. Let's go. Pour the alcohol in the pan. And I know this thing's going to blow up because it's Everclear.
I'm like, Everclear.
Give me Jack Daniels. We'll get a flame.
What are they trying to do?
And I hit it and the flame hits the ceiling. And the lighting guy comes running in. God, this cannot happen.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like freaking out. And I'm like, dude, the pyro guy gave me Everclear.
Right.
I'm like, give me Jack Daniels. It'll be a flame this high.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I've tested all the alcohols. Everclear gives the best flame on camera. And I'm like, well, that's probably true.
Right.
So he goes, so they stop and they go, we either have to change the alcohol or we have to change the lighting rig. And the lighting rig was a big whole thing. So they're like powwowing and I'm waiting and they're powwowing and they come back. We're like, we're moving the lighting rig. I was like, seriously?
Wow.
So they moved the whole lighting rig higher. It took like another hour or whatever, but yeah, about burned down the place. Okay. So I did a little research on you, and obviously, but obviously also I think you talked about it in the show, which I had a wild time watching the show. I got super stressed out at a lot of parts. Like when it went from like teams to then you're all on your own.
Yeah.
But you mentioned you were homeless.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
I was, yes.
But then also I just saw on your Instagram the other day, you were getting a new passport because you filled all the pages.
Right. So like,
okay,
backwards.
So tell me how you go from homeless to filling up a passport.
I know, right? Having no place to stay to traveling the world. It's crazy.
That's wild.
So homeless growing up.
Okay.
My family growing up. We come from very humble beginnings. So
what does your family consist of?
My mom was I was raised by a single parent, and my 3 brothers.
3 brothers.
3 brothers, only girl.
Wow. Youngest or oldest?
I have 2 older, 1 younger.
Okay.
So yeah, they're so just growing up, we moved around a lot, and there were times where we were homeless. Yeah. My father, that's a whole nother story. My father was a gangster, and he passed away a few years ago to the point we couldn't even attend his funeral because they were worried that people would retaliate, like shoot up the hole. Like he was like a thug, like, yeah. Shit. So we moved around a lot. So certain times we were homeless to kind of get away from that part of my father's lifestyle.
I remember back, there was a point before my mom remarried where she was single mom and we weren't homeless. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine that, but we did live in the basement of some guy's house. The house was foreclosed on. Oh. It wasn't in a great neighborhood.
Right.
Like I couldn't go out after dark kind of thing.
Okay.
This house was tiny. The basement was super, super small.
Yeah.
And we shared we all shared a room.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back, like this place was so tiny. But when I was a kid, my mom made me feel like we lived in a castle.
Same thing.
Right. So that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Looking back, I didn't, and it wasn't like we were living on the street. Similar stories, we're in people's basements or we lived in shelters for like women with children. So we were never on the street or in a tent or anything like that. But we didn't have our own home. And
how did your mom talk to you about that?
I had clothes, I had food, I was happy.
Yeah.
So in that particular instance, like you don't really think about it until someone else brings it up to you. In school, I would run into someone at the grocery store and my mom would be paying with food stamps. And then someone would be like, oh, she's on welfare. So it was like, I didn't understand the world I was in until the outside world made me aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
It's kind of it's kind of shitty that like it feels that way. As I remember one time it's burned into my brain when my mom paid with food stamps and she felt, my mom was really proud. And like, I remember her feeling really like she was trying to pay quick.
Yeah, same. And back in those days, you didn't have a card. It wasn't EBT. It was like paper. So you had to tear them out the book. It was like a whole process. And I would see someone from school. I'm like, oh shit. Like, I got to distract them. I don't want them to see them tearing food stamps out this book, paying for groceries, you know? So yeah.
What age were you?
Elementary school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
You know, I was like, my mom got divorced when I was 5. It was like from like 5 to 9.
Okay.
There was like a good like 4 or 5 years that it was just
like first, second, third grade, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we stayed at my grandparents' house for a little while, and my grandparents they had a great house, but my mom just didn't like being at home. So she was like, I got to get out. Yeah. And then we went out to this, we got an apartment, and then that wasn't going well. And then we ended up in this basement. And then finally she like started dating my dad now, like my stepdad. I call him dad because he's been there. But when we moved out of this house, the guy pulled a gun on us. When we moved out of the basement, he pulled a gun on us because he was living off of our rent.
Oh, he needed you to be there.
He needed us to be there. And
it's crazy.
People are weird.
Back in those days, though, things were different. There weren't as many resources as there are now. And so you kind of had men's meet and, you know, just kind of like make your way. Like, I don't think if the circumstances were the same as they were back in the day, I think things would be different now. Yeah. There's so many more opportunities for sure. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So when did you find food? So in this journey, food enters your life. When was this? Do you remember?
Food entered my life when my mother purchased an Easy Bake Oven for me. For a birthday or some whatever. Yeah. So that's when I started cooking like with the light bulb.
Oh my goodness.
Easy Bake Oven.
My dad I remember that actually brings back a memory. My dad got us this weird, like, he got us an Easy Bake Oven because he had one when he was a kid. Okay. Like back in the 60s, my dad had an Easy Bake Oven. Yeah. And he was like, you should have one of these. And it was like pink and we were like not into it.
Mine was pink.
Yeah. I think they only made them pink. They're like, boys don't bake. Bullshit, I have a cookie company. But then he got us this other like mad scientist thing, and you could make like gummies and you could make brains that you could eat.
I had one of those.
Did you remember that?
I had a McDonald's maker. I had all these little makers. Yeah, that's when same type of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so then you go all the way to Next Level Chef, and you're standing there in the finale, and your name is not called.
Oh wait, we're fast forwarding?
I'm fast forwarding. Your name is not called.
Are you talking about when they announced the winner?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you feel?
Deflated. You know, I felt like I was so consistent throughout the entire season.
You were.
So consistent.
And so was I. When I watched your season,
oh my God.
When I watched it, I was like, you and I would hate for you and I to be in a competition together because it would be insane unless we were on the same team. But you and I, our competition style is so much the same. Like when I was watching you, I was like, this is everything I went through.
In what way? What are the similarities?
Okay, in the way that like we had to fight back. Like when you were in the basement and you had to work your way all the way up. You always had to prove yourself.
Always.
And every time you proved yourself, you shut everybody else down. But, okay, so let me ask you this. Were there times that you were seeing her be like rewarded and you were like, mine was better?
Well, to be fair, I didn't taste.
Right, we can't taste.
Okay, but based off of the feedback from the judges, there were a couple of instances that were questionable based off of their feedback. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think some of the responses show that, the surprised, you know, when certain things were rewarded. I think that when the person was rewarded for them, they were actually surprised as well.
Like the burger. I'm jumping ahead. All of a sudden, it cuts to you in Vegas. You guys film in Vegas?
Yes, we were filming in Vegas.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm like watching. I'm like 4 episodes in or 5 episodes in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you guys are standing in Gordon Ramsay burger, and I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, wait a minute. Did they fly to Vegas?
No, we were in Vegas for for everyone who made it that far for a month.
Okay.
And we were in the hotel room quarantined the whole time. But they built the whole setup in Vegas in the middle of a parking lot in Vegas. So yeah, we actually went to Gordon Ramsay's burger joint that day and it was filmed there half the day.
Yeah. And Payette edged you out on the burger challenge.
Did she?
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. I said, edged you out on the burger challenge. Did you feel that was the right decision? Because you did a chicken burger, right?
I did. And I know a lot of people were questioning.
No, I love it.
I went in and every challenge I went in without having an intention of doing something. But that particular episode, I was like, okay, I'm in the top kitchen. I can grab Wagyu, I can do this. But for me, in my mind, at that particular moment, I was like, anyone can have a great protein and make it. It's hard to mess up a Wagyu. You know what I mean? Burger. It's difficult.
I think it's easy because it's easy to mess up because if you overcook it, it's fucked.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. If you do overcook it, that's a good point. True.
You know, this actually, brings me up to a thought. I noticed that on the show, a lot of the times when someone was in the bottom, like it seemed like the bottom kitchen always did someone in the bottom kitchen always did the best.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, of course, you're giving them the least and worst amount of stuff and the worst kitchen to cook in. And then they make something equally as good as the top.
Right.
And then now you have a bias because it came from the bottom kitchen.
Some of my best dishes came from the bottom kitchen.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like when I got put in an elimination challenge on MasterChef, we'd put the black apron on it. And it was my favorite time because I knew one-on-one with anybody, I could beat them. And I knew that was where I was going to send everybody home. And we had no idea what was coming on those elimination challenges. So I knew that I could create in that pressure better than anyone else.
Exactly. I felt the exact same way.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I took from being in the top kitchen and choosing that chicken. I was like, I'm in the top kitchen, so I have more tools, but I'm going to use an ingredient that probably no one wants. Yeah. And try to do something different because at that time they were like, we want something different. We want something next level. And next level for me meant thinking outside of the box.
Yeah. So I know I skipped ahead a little there. Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. So you get the call that you're going to be on the show.
Oh, okay.
And you...
well, it didn't happen that fast. It was a whole lengthy, you're talking about 8-9 months interview process.
Wow.
Yeah. It was lengthy.
Like
tons of interviews.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Did you have to go somewhere and make a dish for somebody?
No.
What?
Not until we arrived. And they still weeded people out.
Yeah.
When we arrived on set. Yeah.
How many did they bring to the hotel before you guys went on camera? 100?
No. Maybe
before you went to camera.
Maybe 20 something. And then narrowed it down to 15.
You guys started with 15 on camera?
Yeah, we started with 15 on camera. I think it was 15 or 12. I think it was 15.
No.
Yeah, 5 each team.
It was 18 because it was 6 each team. Was it 5 each team or 6 each team?
There's 3 teams.
I thought it was 6
There might have been 6 each team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Man.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I think 20 of you competed on camera to get your aprons and they only gave 18 aprons. Maybe is what it was. Something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're like rebuilding the show right now. When you got chose to be on Team Blaze, were you excited about that?
I was excited. I mean, at that particular point, anyone who would have chosen me, I was like, yeah. I'll tell you what, I was excited is to be first chosen on his team. Yeah. That was unexpected.
Remind me your dish that you made.
So it's interesting because they don't talk about a lot of the ingredients. So the dish that they said I made was steak with chimichurri. And then I did like Brussels sprouts on the side. Okay. But everything that I used to create that wasn't your typical ingredients. Like I used blanched spinach to make my chimichurri sauce. Oh. Yeah, because you're grabbing. Right. So I never went with the intention. I would just see something that I could use or something that's familiar and I'll just figure it out. That was my whole strategy. Like whatever I get, I can just figure it out.
See, that's the power that the judges have is like no matter what you use, they've set it up so they can spin it either good or bad, right? Unless you cook something raw. If you serve raw chicken, they can't spin that.
Right. Absolutely not.
They can't spin that.
Yeah.
But if they want to, I feel like, and this is just a personal feeling, if they want to keep you around, they can spin something that maybe wasn't good into a positive if they see something in you. I don't know. That's just my.
Okay.
Did you ever feel that way? Like they might, like someone shouldn't have made it through, but they did?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you got picked first for Team Blaze, how much did you know about Blaze before being on his team?
Oh, I knew a lot about Blaze before. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he was like the mad scientist, gastronomy, making stuff cold and ice and smoke. So yeah, he's like a little wizard.
He is. He loves going out. He is, honestly, props to him for getting out to these like live shows and just dumping nitrogen in cream.
I saw that.
And mixing it and making nitrous ice cream.
Yes.
Like, first of all, it's not hard. That's the reason we do it. But like, he's doing it on this big stage and getting all the...
It's like theatrics. I love it.
He's killing it. And now no one else can do it. But that's been a technique that chefs have been using for a long time.
He's brought it out into the forefront for sure.
And he's banking off of it. Has dating been hard post Next Level Chef?
Dating is hard anyway.
Facts.
Okay.
I'm so glad I don't have to date anymore. I mean,
why?
I still date my wife. Like, we go out
you're
on
married?
dates. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
So I met her literally like the week Tinder came out. And
on Tinder?
No, I had Tinder and I was swiping and there weren't a lot of people on it. Options were limited.
Okay, slim pickings.
I went down to I just got out of a bad relationship. I went down to the beach and I met her at the beach, like old fashioned.
Yeah, sounds like the movie Grease. Were you guys like Sandy and in the water singing, twirling?
She was hula hooping when I saw her. We swing on the rings down at the Santa Monica beach.
Love
There's like
it.
All these apparatuses, and that's where we met. So then I deleted Tinder. I didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough out there.
It's hard out here.
Do you get guys that are like, "Oh, you're a chef. Will you cook for me?"
You know what's funny? What I do get is men who want to cook for me.
Oh.
And I'm just like, are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, right.
I don't want you to cook for me. And it's always a competition. Like, hey, I'll cook you dinner. It's like, no, maybe you shouldn't. Like, I don't understand it.
Have you let a guy do that yet?
No.
Okay.
I have not.
That's like a big, that's a bold move from a guy because like if he impresses you, he's either in or you're like, get the fuck out. Get
out of the kitchen. To be honest, I have like, I know it's cute. You can cook together and stuff like that, but don't start out that way. Because then it's like, it's a competition.
Yeah.
Like,
it's also hard. Like cooking, they don't understand. I mean, this is our profession. Like cooking, even if we're cooking at home for ourselves, we're taking it seriously.
Right.
And like to try and be cute and dance.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fun.
It's like me dating a doctor. I'm like, oh, let me dress some wounds. Like, I've seen some medical shows. Oh, I know how to.
I've seen every episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Get out of here. Like, just calm down. Like,
that is so
stay in your lane, So, but I mean, it could be cute. There might be some days I don't feel like cooking,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now, what if you met like a Michelin star chef and you had a crush on him?
Then
I would be dope. I have a crush on a Michelin star chef.
I mean, I have crushes on a few people who are in the culinary industry.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And I think if there's a certain level, there's a certain respect, so it's different. But meeting like a dude, who see now I'm gonna talk a lot of mess. Someone who doesn't know the mother sauces.
Oh, right.
And it's like, hey, let me cook. And it's like, but if we have the same, we can talk about food and we understand concepts, that's a different category. Because then you have this level of respect where it's like, okay,
right,
go in the kitchen, like make me a meal, like you get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Whew. So glad I don't have to date.
Dating is hard. So I'm focusing right now on my career. My career is my baby.
Yeah. Good.
And if someone comes along the way, that's fine. They can fall in love with me and we can. It's great.
Amen to that. Okay, so private chefing, we both have that in common now, but you were doing that before you went on Next Level Chef. I started doing it after, but I feel like, so I'm on a season now called Back to Win. So it's basically like our MasterChef All-Stars. We're back to win for another chance. So I have a whole new approach to the game because I've been private chefing for the last 6 years.
Yeah. Private chefing is a whole different vibe.
People don't get it.
They don't. If you've never done it.
Restaurant chefs like hate on it that haven't tried it.
It's vice. Yeah, I get a lot of hate.
Do you?
Not hate, but there's this
judgment.
I think there's this barrier of,
it's like elitism.
That's the first thing people ask me. Oh, you're a chef. What restaurant do you work at?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, there's so many things that chefs can do that are not in the restaurant.
Right.
So, and then I'm like, oh, I've never been in a restaurant. Oh.
Do you want to? Have you ever thought about it?
I have thought about it.
Okay.
I have. We'll see.
Yeah.
If I owned one, yeah.
I feel the same way.
If I owned one, absolutely.
I would do it again. I've worked in a few. And it's hard. I had this one. I came right off of MasterChef, and I met this guy, and he was like, "We're looking for a chef, but you don't really have much of a resume." And I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah.
I was like, "But I've worked in restaurants, like supporting my music career, but so I understand restaurants, but I haven't been a chef."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Well, we'll give you a shot, but you have to work your way up." And he was like, "Every week we'll put you on a different station. We'll see how you handle it." And I was like, "Cool."
Okay.
So I started on prep. I did prep. And then I moved up to garde manger.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to saute. And then I went to grill. And this restaurant was on Montana Boulevard, which is like the west side. It's like the west side Beverly Hills. So it's bougie. And then I'll never forget one night. It was the first night I got fucking rocked. Like I got my ass handed to me. I'm on grill. And see, I didn't understand what sandbagging was. And sandbagging in the restaurant industry is like if you're on grill, you pre-sear like all your like a good amount of meats. Like so you're a good like 10, 15 tables ahead.
Okay.
You pre-sear and then you let them sit and then you bring them up to the temp that they need to be. So you pre-sear them rare.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if you get a medium rare, you only put it on for a couple minutes and so on and so forth. I didn't know what sandbagging was. No one taught me that. But that's why that's why you can't just drop right into head chef at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You got to learn all this shit.
Right.
You got to
There's
work
a whole terminology and
you got to work up through the ranks. So I didn't know what sandbagging was. So this chef, he's like overseeing. He's from another restaurant, so he's overseeing this restaurant. And we get hit. We get so many covers coming through the door, and all of a sudden, I have tickets. Coming from the printer, and they're all the way down. And the printer's up high. They're all the way down. They're piling up on my station, and then they're pouring down to the floor. And that's how many tickets I'm behind. I'm like 50, 70 tickets behind.
Oh my gosh, just like the whole restaurant. Yeah.
It was because they sat the whole restaurant at once. Mm-hmm. And I'm freaking out. And the chef comes out of the back and he looks over. He's like, "Are you good?" I was like, "No, I'm the fucking Titanic over here.
Yeah.
I'm sinking."
Okay, Leonardo. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I got my ass kicked so hard, but you know what? I don't give up. I'm not a person that gives up. Push through, and then I felt stronger after it. And then the next day I went back into work and it wasn't as bad, and like you just keep doing it. But
that's the problem. You keep doing it, and that's what the restaurant.
Yeah. The hard part is it's like $16 an hour.
And that's the trouble, is from going from being a private chef backwards. If I started in a restaurant, it'd be different.
Right.
But working as a private chef, I just thinking about that and knowing that they're going to start me, frying potatoes or something. I'm just like, I don't know if I can do that. Like from a financial standpoint, like. And
you know what I did too? Because I was worried about when I came off of MasterChef before it aired, because there's that window in between. Mm-hmm. How long from when you wrapped filming with Next Level to when it aired?
It wrapped, like October, so it launched January 2nd. So
you didn't have to wait
2 months.
Long.
Yeah, 2 to 3 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
we did MasterChef Back to Win in October, and it's not airing until May.
Oh, yeah.
I've been sitting on it for a minute.
Yeah. But the process I sat on for almost a year because it took me 8-9 months to interview.
And that's what happened for me the first time at MasterChef. It took like 7-8 months, and then we had to wait, and we filmed in January, and then it aired in May.
Yeah.
But what was I saying?
About being a private chef and restaurant industry.
Oh, before it aired, I didn't know which direction I was going, so I was like, I need to just soak up as much knowledge as I can. I went to this burger place. It's like an upscale fast food burger joint. Have you heard of Burger Lounge?
No.
Well, they just got a plug.
I love burgers too.
I went to Burger Lounge and I knew someone there, and I was like, yo, I need a job. I need your worst job, and I want to work my way up, and I can't tell you why. And they were like, what?
Okay.
I was like, and I will work every day. I was like, I will be here. I was like, but I need to learn. I want to learn. I just looked at it as like Burger Lounge they were serving fresh food. Everything was made from scratch.
Yeah.
But it was fast. So I thought to myself, this is the fastest way I can learn how the kitchen functions.
Right.
And so they did. They were like, okay, fine. We'll start you on prep. Be here tomorrow. I go in the first day, and it was like, we need 300 burger patties at 5.5 ounces.
Are you grinding the meat?
No, that came in pre-ground, luckily.
Okay.
But they were like, we need 300 burger patties at 5.5 ounces each, and we need them in an hour and a half. Okay. It took me 4.5 hours the first day.
Wow.
They were so mad.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't do this. And then this guy came over, and he goes, you do it like this. And he shows me his way, and it made so much sense. And I was like, oh, that puzzle is great.
Yeah.
Because it's just a puzzle. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so then the next day I got down to like 2.5 hours. They're like, that's good, but we need you at an hour and a half. And I was like, okay.
You couldn't come in an hour earlier?
Off the clock.
Oh. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But so I did it, and then I got there, and now I can bag up some burgers quick. But then salad guy didn't show up one day. And that's how it's truly like.
I got salads at the burger place?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's how it happens. You hear all these stories of all these chefs. It's like the guy doesn't show up, and you go fill in, you work. So then I went to salads, and I didn't have to prep anymore. All of a sudden there was a new guy prepping the next day, and I was on salads.
I think that's what happened to Bobby Flay. I think that's how he kind of got his way. Like he was like a server or something, and someone didn't show up. And like, hey, Bobby, come in the back. Yeah. I want to say that's what happened to him. Yeah.
That's funny because you would think they would want to keep the pretty guy on the floor.
Oh, Bobby's so pretty.
So pretty. Would you do beat Bobby Flay?
Oh, I would love to do beat Bobby Flay.
Me too.
And I already have a signature dish in mind. I would love to do it. Yeah.
What's your signature dish?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh.
Wait till I'm on. I'm putting it into the air.
Give me another signature dish off the top. If you could cook for Yeah. Okay. How about this? If you could cook for Thomas Keller tomorrow, what would you make him?
Lamb.
Lamb what?
Lamb chops.
Okay. Ooh, we need to have a lamb battle. You and I.
Oh, you're a lamb specialist? Lamb is my jam. Why is that funny? Lamb is my thing.
Okay, Kanye. Lamb is
my jam. Yes. Lamb, like, we can do it. We can do a lamb battle. Is that a song? Is Lamb a song with Kanye West?
I don't know.
It's an inside joke? Okay, I don't know.
He probably does it as a Sunday service.
Actually makes sense. Lamb Sunday service.
I know. Oh my God. I got to cook. I cooked for Ty Dolla $ign Easter dinner at Coachella for Sunday service. And it was wild. The house we were at was close enough that I was in the kitchen. He went with his whole family.
Yeah.
I could hear Sunday service while I was in the kitchen prepping their dinner.
Did you do lamb?
No.
That would have made the story better.
He didn't want it. He didn't want lamb on. He wanted traditional like Easter dinner.
Like a ham? Did you have a ham? Like I thought lamb. I did lamb on Easter for a client. It was amazing. I thought lamb was traditional Easter.
Maybe I did. Honestly, I don't know. It was such a whirlwind. Okay. I was so terrified to cook for his mom.
Oh, yeah.
That's an important day.
Yeah,
his son's at Coachella.
Yeah. She's probably like old school, like traditional.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was frightening. I was so scared. And I didn't bring help because I couldn't get help because it's Ty. He calls last minute.
It's like that as a private chef. People ask me that all the time.
Yeah.
I did a dinner party, 20 people. Who do you have helping you? It's like nobody. And that's, I think, what separates us and from a restaurant chef is that I wash dishes, I grocery shop, I plan the menu, I serve, I talk, I entertain. Like there's so many moving pieces with being a private chef.
We do it all.
Yeah.
So where like a chef in a restaurant, he gets to create the menu, he gets all the glory, he runs his team. We get it deserved.
Yeah.
But when they act like they're better than private chefs for a very high net worth client, I don't like that because most of them haven't done it. The ones that have, they don't act that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just don't. So the ones that act that way, it's like you're casting this judgment on something, one, you don't know anything about, and you don't know how hard it is, because not only are you the chef, menu planning, coming up with the dishes, you have dietary restrictions.
Oh my gosh.
Out the wazoo. And then you are sourcing your goods, and you have to go to the grocery store because you can't get a purveyor to drop off 5
and you're coming
avocados.
up with portion sizes and working in a budget.
Yep.
So you're like a nutritionist working with people's dietary restrictions, your private shopping. Trust me, I get it. It's like, you know, if someone were going to throw me into a restaurant, there's things I wouldn't know if I would throw someone from a restaurant into a private chef world. They would be like, whoa, this is a lot. Yeah.
It is a lot.
Put some respect on my name.
Tell me, okay, so what's the hardest private chef situation you've been thrown into? Because I have a couple off the top that just will stick with me forever.
I don't know if it's a situation. I think it's a mind frame. I do work with a lot of higher clientele, elite clientele.
That's so private chef world,
you know, depending on, you know, your demographics. And with that, you have a lot of personalities and a lot of expectations, especially when you make a certain income.
Yeah.
And the indecisiveness or the changes, you know, the just sudden, I changed my mind, or I don't like this. And then you plan a menu and it's like, well, I want this. And it's like, but you told me you don't like salmon. Yeah. And then I make salmon. I don't like salmon. It's like, but you asked me to make it. So it's like, it's the changing of the mind. I think for me is probably one of the most difficult parts because there's a lot of planning, you know, all of a sudden I don't want that anymore. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then figure it out.
Yeah.
You know,
that is the hard part about private chef world. I had this client that all he ever wanted was well done filet mignon.
Been there.
Like every day. I was like, when he first was like, I just want filet mignon well done. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make this the best well done filet. Like that was my goal.
Did we work for the same client? Because this sounds like a situation that I've been through. And I'm like, you want to eat beef every day?
Yeah.
And you want it well done?
And I was like, okay, challenge accepted. I'm going to win him over. I'm going to make, and I did. He was like, this is the best steak I've ever had. And then I was about 6 weeks in and my soul, I was just like, I felt like I was making my soul well done every day.
I get that.
And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
And that's an interesting thing. And like, as a chef, your integrity, I'm like, this isn't right. It's eating at me. I know this is what they want, but for me, this is not something I want to do. Right. And it pulls.
Do you set yourself up with backups, for instance? Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to make like quick scenario. Okay. I'm going to do like my client's gluten-free.
Yeah.
My client is gluten-free, allergic to tomatoes, and vegetarian.
I have a client similar to that. Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm. No onions, no garlic.
No garlic. They do no garlic.
And gluten-free.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do gluten-free pasta. Mm-hmm. But then I'll buy some. Mm-hmm. I'll buy a dry just in case. Mm-hmm. You do that too?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I will, sometimes I keep a, gosh, they're going to hear this. No, I'm not saying it.
Okay. Well, you have several clients, but maybe, okay.
I have one full-time client.
Okay, let's not, yeah.
Like I keep certain things backstock just in case if I fuck up, I don't ruin the dinner. I can still pull something out.
That happened to me a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where I was supposed to be cooking for 2 people and they're like, oh, we have 10 people showing up, but they don't eat beef and they don't eat that. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness I have chicken in the freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had the one time I was cooking for the well done guy. He was like, let's do brunch tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to the store, I actually rolled in a little later because normally I do breakfast at 8 a.m. for him. I'm like, we get to do brunch at 11 today. Great. I got enough for his family. His wife rolls in and goes, we're having a barbecue for 20 people at 2 o'clock.
That's what happens. Yep.
I'm like, what? It's 11. I'm like.
But guess what? It doesn't matter. You have to get it done.
You had to get it done.
Not, oh my gosh, no.
Well, you can quit.
Yeah. Quit or get it done.
Exactly.
That's the expectation.
And I got it done.
Yeah.
But that's also the hard part is when you get it done, then that's the new expectation.
Exactly. You're setting yourself up towards, she can just accommodate. She can figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a line in the sand you have to draw and you got to dance on.
Yeah.
Piet.
Yes.
There was a moment where she put scallops in the pan and she walked away from that pan. She went to the pantry. Y'all were watching, right? You were watching.
Oh, yes.
This was an elimination?
Elimination round. Yeah. And the secret ingredient was bacon.
Yeah. And bacon wrapped scallops, I mean, I love that idea. Like, it's obviously it's not a new idea, but you're not going to get a perfect scallop with bacon on the outside.
It's tough. Normally, you want to par cook the bacon first and then wrap it.
Facts.
Yeah.
See, you don't have to work in a restaurant to know this shit. She walked away from those scallops in the pan and like everyone's yelling at her. You don't walk away from scallops in a pan.
Yeah. It's a tricky protein. You have to baby it.
I was boiling. I was in my living room boiling.
Yeah. And we were all like, the scallops, the bacon, the scallops.
You all were helping.
She's like,
her.
I got this. I'm the scallop queen. I got this.
See, no one wanted to help me on my season because they knew I was the biggest.
Well, no one helped me during my elimination round, but I told them because they were like, all right, I don't know what to do. Should we tell you something? I said, no. I said, unless I ask. Because I wanted to go home on my own accord. Like, if I go home, I want it to be my own mistake, not because I followed the advice of someone that gave me.
Dude, that stressed me out. Those eliminations, when you guys are all surrounded around the, basically the chopping block, and they're trying to cook, and then, early on, everyone was like, do this. Well,
they told us that. They told us, they were like, we want excitement. We want you guys to, input. And then after a few episodes,
stressful.
they realized
like,
this is too much.
Yeah.
That's why you can kind of see the tone drop a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's so interesting about a first season show is you can see where things were like, let's see if this works. And I mean, it's a Gordon Ramsay production, so it's $1 million production.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And they already have the whole thing thought out, and they're changing what they can on the fly based on how it's editing. For
instance, there weren't eggs on the platform. And that happened maybe a few episodes after they realized grabbing eggs were difficult. So they put them in the pantry.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's another thing I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
You have, how many seconds or is it 2 minutes to grab ingredients?
I think it was 15 seconds. 15 or 30. It was seconds.
Yeah, it was seconds.
Less than 30 seconds. Yeah.
And they don't give you a basket to put anything in?
No.
How are you supposed to get enough ingredients?
Did you see my first couple episodes? I was like, and I asked them, I was like, can I put stuff in my pockets? And I was the only one to ask. They're like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I was loading my pockets up. I'm watching everybody just grab stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, take your apron and just.
That didn't work for me. The apron thing.
Yeah.
It was too time consuming. I was just, for me, but everyone used their apron. Yeah. I was just. Yeah.
I would have tucked my shirt in. And
That's a good technique. I'm curious to see what people are going to do next season. Yeah.
I know. I kind of want to go on this show.
I can see you doing it.
I know. I applied, but I think I applied too late.
It might be a conflict.
Yeah. So I applied for Hell's Kitchen, and the producers called me, and they were 50-50 split. 50% of them were like, this is a great storyline. We'd love to have a MasterChef come on. And then the other 50 were like, we don't want crossover.
Yeah.
And then now I understand why, because that was before MasterChef Back to Win. Right. I think they had Back to Win already planned, and so they vetoed Hell's Kitchen, which was good because now I'm on Back to Win.
There it is.
But I want to do more. After this last one, I want to do more competition
Me
shows.
too.
Yeah.
I want to. Can I say what show I want to go on?
Yeah.
I want to do Guys Grocery Games.
I got cast for Guys Grocery Games.
Really?
And then COVID hit.
I got casted for another show, and then COVID hit, and they ended up not doing the show. It was like restaurant something, like to win a restaurant or something. And then I got casted to do something after I did Next Level Chef, and it was a conflict. It was on HBO Max. I was supposed to do a brunch show for HBO Max. Yeah, and I couldn't do it. But yeah, cooking competitions, I'm like, I want to do it.
Yeah, they're fun.
I just love it. Like, it gets me going.
Oh, that's another thing. Gordon was admiring the pressure you put on yourself. And he same thing with me. Like he came to me one time and he was like, "You love the pressure." I was like, "That's when I feel alive."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Same. Push me up against the wall. Like, let me sweat. Yeah. Because I perform the best that way.
Yeah.
So if I have like all day to do something, I'm just going to take my time.
Well, and that's kind of like what I like about the basement kitchen is like your back's against the wall down there. It's like when I have too much money, like I'm not creating.
Right.
When I go spend it all, I'm like, fuck, I gotta figure this out. Right.
Let me tell you, some of the best meals I've made is when I don't go to the grocery store. When I'm like hella hungry and I'm like, what do I have? What can I do?
And you got nothing.
Nothing. I'm like, this is fucking delicious. Like, but if I go to the grocery store, I have all these options. It kind of like,
right. Like it's like if you opened the fridge and you only have basil in there, and then you got yeast and flour on and then you make a basil bun.
Right.
And you're like, this is genius.
Yeah.
But if you had a full pantry, you're not walking in there going, I'm going to make a basil bun.
Right. Exactly. Basil bun. That actually sounds pretty good. I like that idea.
Because Josiah Citron, 2 Michelin star self-taught chef, has a restaurant called Melisse here in LA. Next time we'll go because it's booked. We ain't getting in. But he does a basil bread. It's fucking insane.
It's like a focaccia?
It's like a brioche.
Interesting. It sounds delicious.
You know, when they charge you for bread.
Like $30.
It's like 11.
But. Oh, okay. Michelin star. Okay.
Oh no, I got to stage at his restaurant. He's such a cool guy. He's very intimidating. But he's so cool. Like, and his food is he does like a 12 or 14 seat tasting room. He like redid Melisse. Melisse is like it's been in LA for a long time, and he's got 2 Michelin stars, and he remodeled it, and the remodel's so cool. Okay, we have some other stuff we need to talk about.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So we were talking earlier about microphones. We would cover our mics.
Yes.
There was a moment when you put your dish up, and then you went, "Oh, I forgot the feta."
Oh gosh, damn feta.
But you said it.
I know.
And then so when you said it, were you like, "Shit"? Now they know.
I didn't realize that until they brought it up during the elimination round.
Yeah, Gordon's like, maybe some cotija.
Yeah, and I'm like, really?
I saw they cut to your eye roll so hard.
I was hot. I was like, really? And then from that point, I'm like,
I'm not saying
shit. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
No one knew I had feta. You know what I mean? But I knew I needed that feta.
Yeah.
That was like my garnish, my finishing touch. So yeah, that was a lesson learned.
Yeah, I remember moments where like people would talk about things, and then Gordon would say or do whatever, and it was like, oh, you got to play close to the vest. This is Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
This is poker.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole new world.
Yeah.
You know, it's like being on TV. It's like there's no manual.
No.
You know, so you just have to. You learn as you. I mean, it's like life. You just learn as you go.
Yeah.
You make mistakes and keep moving.
I had Cyrus in here from Real World. He was on the original season of Real World.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was telling me all about how like there was no roadmap.
There was no reality TV before Real World.
No.
Yeah.
So he was like, the cameras rolled.
Right.
And his personality's so big. He's like, I was big side baby. I was like,
what does that mean? Yeah.
He's awesome. He's a cool guy. But yeah, I mean, they have it kind of formatted now. They know they kind of know what we're going to do.
Oh, it's a science. Absolutely. I mean,
did you take the MMPI-2 test?
No. What is that?
No, come on. The big test. It was like 300 to 500
Oh,
questions.
yes.
Yeah.
We did that. And then also the psycho. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking from the psych test, I'm like, they're sizing up our personalities, what triggers us. You know what I mean? Who do we need to put her with for her to react? What makes her tick? So it's a science. You know what I mean? Like,
it's brilliant. I mean,
it's amazing.
There was a moment in season 6 when there were mystery boxes, and it was like first station, second station, third station, 6 stations back.
Okay.
And we walk in, and they tell us we can pick whatever station we want. Now they know our personalities, right?
Yeah.
They know our personalities, and they asked us. One of our questions when we were applying for the show was, what foods do you not like?
They asked us that too.
Right. And at the time, my one food I did not like was blue cheese.
Okay.
Okay. now after the show, I was like, I'm going to be a chef. I need to like blue cheese. So I literally trained my palate. Every day I would eat a little bit of blue cheese.
Interesting.
Okay. And I trained my palate to like, now I love blue cheese. So for all these out there that don't like food, it's just because you haven't had it right yet or you haven't trained your palate. You can. If you want to like something, you can train your palate.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's all 6 stations and they go, pick your station. And I picked the front station. They knew by that psych test that I'm going to pick the front station. We lift up that box. I had blue cheese. We all had different ingredients. We all had individual ingredients. I lifted that box. I had blue cheese. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. It was a test.
It was a test. And they knew I was going to pick it. So another thing. So not only are you on the first season of Next Level Chef, the newest Gordon Ramsay show.
Newest, yeah.
You're also the first contestant to miss the platform.
First and only contestant to miss the platform.
Only so far.
So crazy.
Pray multiple people on season 2 miss.
Oh gosh, I got so many people like hating on me because of that in my DMs. It's crazy.
Really? Like what? What would people say?
You don't deserve to be here. You should have went home.
Because
you missed it.
But that's the rules. There's a team. There's a team. Fuck those people.
Well, I don't want to say that, but I might agree with you.
I'll say it for you. It's a team. If you I would look at it like this. I would go to my team. If we're dealt a challenge, right? Let's say sushi is the challenge. And someone on my team is like, I've never had sushi. I'd be like, sit this one out.
Right.
And help us.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said.
Man, I
was
thought
that a possibility?
It wasn't a possibility.
You had to cook a dish?
But to the haters, it's like I redeemed myself. That's why I was sent into elimination.
Yeah.
It's one thing if I like.
Right. You had to go redeem yourself.
Yeah, I had to.
Of course.
And if I didn't, I would have been sent home.
Right.
So.
I mean, that's the rules of the game.
Yeah.
You have to put your dish up. You're a team. Now, if that would have happened when you guys weren't teams.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if someone from my team won top dish, I would have been saved. I wouldn't have been put into elimination.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, I get it.
And that's why I'm saying, like, and I think they don't have those rules kind of worked out yet.
True.
And I would push.
So true.
I would say to the producers, like, hey, when they're in teams and you give a challenge, if someone's like, hey, guys, I'm not really good on this challenge. Can I help all of you be better so your team wins?
Yeah.
Like, that sounds, because what's the point of the teams if you're not helping each other?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we could trade ingredients. They told us that as a team, like, before the time and whatever. But yeah, you're right. That's something that kind of needs to.
Yeah, I feel like that's a missed opportunity with this show is that you guys should be able to do more as a team. But maybe we'll see what happens next season.
We'll see what happens.
On the topic of you missing the platform, how did this happen? Because you're a few episodes in. Do you guys have a clock anywhere?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay. Did you have clocks?
So here's the thing. This is what bugs me is on set when we're in the MasterChef kitchen. We have the clock. And Gordon says, your time starts now. And we can always look up at it. Out on the team challenges, when we go out on the field, there's no clock. And he goes, you have 75 minutes to prep and you have an hour to serve. It's like, well, how do we know how long anything is if we don't have a clock anywhere? Okay, so you guys didn't have a clock.
No clock, no nothing.
That explains so much to me because I'm watching, and they're like, you have 45 minutes. And the first episode, you guys had mad urgency. And then as the episodes went on, there wasn't mad urgency until that plating moment. The rest of the time, everyone's talking, cutting, chopping it up. And I'm like, you guys have 45 minutes.
Well, they kept condensing the time. They kept lowering it. So the next episode, you have 30 minutes. But no, there was no, and I was asked a lot of questions because I need to know what I'm signing up for so I can execute. And so I'm like, are there any timers? And no timers. So how am I supposed to know?
So did you feel like the time kind of varied a little bit?
And what do you mean? In like what way?
Like, did one challenge feel longer than another?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially depending on what kitchen you're in. Absolutely.
Oh, right.
You know, so no, you had to keep asking time, and then they would have to ask production.
Oh my God.
You know, how much time you have left.
Why don't they put a clock?
I think that was part of the whole situation. So I'll be curious to know if next season they do that.
Yeah.
And then you had 2 minutes to plate. So you couldn't start plating until there were 2 minutes.
Because then they'll say you didn't cook enough.
And that's what happened. I was ready to go. When I missed it, I was ready to go.
You were actually ready to go. You had everything ready.
Editing, man. I was ready. I had my mise en place. I was standing over the plate. As a chef, let me know when there's 2 minutes. I'm ready. And so when he said, like, Mariah, what are you doing? the platform was coming down. And I thought it was time for me to start plating.
Oh my God.
And I looked up and I'm like, I'm like, what? I was asking, he said 2 minutes. And I thought it was it was time for me to start plating, but the platform was coming up. And that's why he was like, Mariah, what are you doing? I was like, I was waiting for the call to start plating.
Fuck.
And where I was located, everyone who was in that corner, you'll see, was like hurrying to try to, you couldn't hear shit in that corner. You couldn't hear anything.
Yeah. So that's part of the strategy with this game is when you come out of the elevator, you're stationed. You're not assigned stations. You get to pick.
You get to pick.
So that's part of your strategy. So what was the best station?
For me, it was closest to the platform because it gave me an extra 10, 15 seconds of time.
Okay.
I didn't have to run around platforms. And in the basement is almost like an obstacle course for you to get to the platform. And the platform comes to you first. So you can't hear, when you're on the top, you can hear the other floors. Then you're like, okay, I have 30 seconds. I can hear the other floors plating.
To plate. Right.
Yeah. On the bottom basement, there's no warning. There's no nothing. It's there.
No, the bottom. That's actually smart. They make the bottom the hardest. You get the proteins and the food. You get the ingredients last, and then you have to plate first.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was being a nice person that episode. And that's when I told myself, Mariah, you can't be a nice person. You need to get back into competition mode. Because I let Jonathan have the station closest to the platform. He asked me. That was my my whole what am I saying? My strategy.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, can I have this one? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a nice team member. Yeah, you can have it. And I was so mad. I was like, damn, I'm in this corner. Yeah.
Wow.
And then since that moment, I never allowed that to happen again.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we can have you on and you can talk about that situation because that helps because it's like you're not. I relate to you as a competitor. I can tell we're very similar.
Yeah.
And there's no way in hell I would have missed a platform on my own accord.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But also, I'm thankful for that because it just shook me up and put me back into competition mode.
And that's what I love about the elimination challenges. Like I was saying, I love that fire.
And I was the only one in elimination challenge for not having a bad dish. Everyone who was put there was because of a bad dish.
Right.
I was there from missing the dish that was supposed to win top dish.
Right. Oh, that's also, Gordon, I'd love for you to try Mariah's dish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
So that was top dish. And
dude, you could have served a peanut butter and jelly and they would have been like, this is a great peanut butter and jelly. Too bad it wasn't on the platform.
Only person put in elimination for a great dish. So let's talk about that. Yeah.
That's similar to season 6 for me. I was in the bottom on one challenge, but it was a team challenge. Mm-hmm. But I was in the bottom a lot because of team challenges. But anytime anytime a team challenge happened, I would save the team, and then the team captain would throw me in the elimination challenge because they were trying to get rid of me.
Yeah, you're a threat. Yep.
I loved it because also when you're in the elimination challenge, you get an extra cook. Exactly.
And that's what I said too.
Yeah.
Was that for one, I didn't realize I was a threat until watching the show. And then people are like, ooh, that's good. She's going in there because she's we got to watch out for her. I was like, oh, I'm a threat. Okay, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go there, but you have the extra cook. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I was worried actually going into not worried, but a little bit concerned that I said who I was going up against elimination because I was like, this is her second time here.
She's had
so she knows the pressure,
cook.
Extra cook, short amount of time. She knows how to, navigate, So I was like, man, this is my first time here. So that's an advantage for sure. Use it for an advantage.
Exactly.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I told everybody on season 6, I was like, I will send you home with this black apron on. I was like, let's go.
Okay.
And I did.
Yeah.
Everyone I went up against with a black apron on.
You were like Ruel. That's what Ruel was talking about.
I sent him home.
Yeah. I won't forget. He came back from an elimination.
That was a stressful elimination for him.
He went twice. And I'll never forget the first time he came back into the groom was like, I'm going to start sending everybody home. Rawr. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I was like, oh, okay. All right, Ruel. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Are you tight with him?
I talk to Ruel all the time.
Yeah. You got to hook me up with him.
Yeah.
I want to chat with him.
Oh,
he's dope. The green room is such a tricky situation. And I wish they would, like on Top Chef, they cut to the green room a little bit,
Oh.
Hell's Kitchen, it's all about backstage. Like Hell's Kitchen, they all live in the house together.
Your mic is on all the time.
All the time. You sleep with it. So, like, with MasterChef, we'd have a green room, and depending on where we were in a challenge, we could or couldn't talk to each other.
Yeah.
And then when we were on teams, when we had team challenges, they kept the teams separate. And then when you're on teams, you couldn't talk to each other on your team until you were in front of camera, because you could be scheming.
Right. They didn't want us to talk to each other at all.
Right.
At all. Because they wanted everything to happen on camera.
Yeah. And we had they call it hard ice, right?
Yeah, hard ice. Yeah.
So they put us on hard ice a lot season 6. This back to win. There was only some very key moments they put us on hard ice. They gave us a little more breathing room, which was
probably
nice.
because you guys know each other's backstories already.
Yeah. And it's like, there's nothing there's a few moments, and I'm saving my call out.
Okay.
With a different person, I'm gonna have another guest on, and him and I are gonna talk about a situation where someone did some shady shit behind the scenes trying to get me out. Oh. They were breaking rules trying to get rid of me.
That happens.
Breaking rules.
I've seen some rule breaking.
Tell me.
All I'm gonna say is we were not supposed to have any phones on set.
Oh. Someone had a phone, huh? They were just looking up recipes that weren't helping them anyway. I'm talking about someone trying to get me eliminated.
Oh, someone you. Okay. Okay. Well,
someone tried to get me eliminated behind the scenes, corroborating with other people.
Who weren't on the show?
It. Yeah. Backstage when we weren't supposed to be talking to each other. This person was going around trying to form a mutiny against me, trying to convince people to sabotage me.
Really?
Yeah. No integrity. Come on, we're fucking chefs. Have some integrity.
You'd be surprised. A lot of them don't. Or I'm not gonna say a lot of them, but in competitions I've learned, if you have $250,000 on the line, it's amazing what someone would do.
It's so crazy because the minute you stop caring about the money, is when the money comes, baby.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's I think what allowed me to make it as far as I did.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about the money.
Yeah.
You know, if you keep thinking about it, it'd like sabotage you.
Yeah.
So
and look, I mean, I get it. People need it. And look,
yeah.
You've been in a place in your life where you didn't have anything.
Right.
I've been in a place in my life where I didn't have anything. We can all end up back there.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And for me, it wasn't about the monetary value of the money. Like, oh, I need this money. It was more so of this money was going to elevate certain things I wanted to do that were going to help other people. But you're
a fighter and you're a competitor.
Oh yeah, I'm a fighter.
Without that money, you're going to create better.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's going to be harder.
Yeah.
So when you do create, it's going to be a more focused, more strategic creation.
But I've always been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I've always figured things out. You know what I mean? I think that's what an entrepreneur spirit does. You figure out a way. So I think that's what makes us successful on these reality TV shows. You just have to figure stuff out.
So what was your first job? You were saying?
Well, my I used to sell stickers, but like my first job.
You sold stickers?
Mm-hmm. That was like after.
At school?
Everywhere, but yeah, at school. So I would like, for birthdays, Christmas, everybody buy me stickers, a little sheet of stickers. And so I would cut them out and I would like put 25 cents on the back, 10 cents on the back. So after school, people were like, oh, Mariah, you got the stickers? You got the freshest stickers? I'm like, yeah, I got all the stickers. Like, what do you want?
The freshest stickers.
I got them all. You know, which ones you want? But no, like one of my first jobs was I would have a store and I would have like the fake little money, like the little dollar bills and little coins, and I ran out. And so I was always very creative. And so my mom would buy me like construction paper. And so I started designing my own money.
Oh my goodness.
And I would cut it out, little coins, a little money, and put like little fake little pictures and little fake dollar amounts on it. And after school, people would give me money to buy my fake money. It was crazy. True story. True story. I would sell fake money that I would make out of construction paper. And this happened in LA at the time I was living in Pasadena. And yeah, after school, Mariah, you have some money? Yeah, it was all cute and like, you know, cut out. And they would pay me. And my brothers would be like, Mariah, how much money did you make today? I'm like, oh, this. And we would go to the corner store and buy candy.
You were Bitcoin before Bitcoin.
Boom. I invented Bitcoin.
I'm going to give you some of my money so I can have Bitcoin.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'll figure it out, you know? It's all good.
I want to go back real quick.
Sure.
The mid-challenge drops. I just remembered that.
Oh, mid-challenge drops.
That's part of your season.
Yeah.
That was Tell me about it.
Mid-challenge drops. Sometimes it could help you.
Yeah.
But then it's like, for instance, actually my best dish came from a mid-challenge drop when I did my Korean barbecue pork skewers.
Oh, right. Gosh. When you were talking about, I remember when you were talking about doing those, I was like, this is not a good idea.
My Korean barbecue pork skewers?
At the beginning.
Okay.
When you first start, because I was like, man, you got this thin-ass pork.
I know.
I was like, you're just screwed because you got thin-ass pork.
Yes, and I thought that too. Yeah. And so at the beginning, you grab all your ingredients, and then they take a cut, and they look at all your ingredients, write them all down. The whole time thinking, Mariah, think. What are you going to do with this thin-ass pork? And I turn around, and I see a little cup with sticks in it. And it just like, boom.
Divine intervention.
I was like, oh my gosh. And I just went to Mexico City where I had where they had it layered up, the little carnitas or whatever, on the street making tacos. And so I had a spark of a moment where I'm like, I can just layer this up on a skewer, like some carnitas. And it was like a moment. Yeah. And that mid-round drop came down, stone fruit. I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
Stone fruit and pork. Right. Perfect. I can layer this on a skewer.
Work.
Yeah.
So what would you have done if you didn't get the stone fruit?
I actually already had it all layered on my skewer.
Oh, okay.
It was already ready to go. And then they had the mid-round drop and I'm like, damn. So I took it all off my skewer and then redid it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been fine if there was no mid-round drop. It's fine.
I like those curveballs.
I love it. Yeah. You got to think on your feet, think on your toes. It's like being a boxer.
Yeah.
You got to bob and weave.
You look like you could be a boxer.
I'm not afraid.
You look tough.
Don't hit me in my face.
Don't hit the money maker. Don't hit the money maker. Have you ever been in a fight? Like in school?
I have.
Yeah.
I got into several fights.
Really?
But I never started them.
That's good.
I never started them. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
Same, but you know how to defend yourself.
I have 3 brothers.
Yeah.
They used to have me fight boys when I was growing up, just to toughen me up. Wow. In the parking lot. I'll never forget. With no gloves. They had me fight a boy. Like, fight my little sister. And I knocked him out. First punch. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm a lady.
Mariah Mayweather.
We don't do that anymore.
Mariah Mayweather.
Fight with knives in the kitchen.
You do. Okay, I know you're on a time crunch because you gotta go see Naisha. Man, Naisha didn't fly you out here.
Really?
I'm gonna have a bone.
Don't talk about Chef Naisha. That's my girl. We had a bonding moment. We're like best friends now.
That's good. I do want to interview a judge on this show.
You should get Richard Blaze on here.
Blaze owes me because I've been on his podcast. Oh. So I need to get him on mine.
He has a podcast.
He had a bunch. Okay. Yeah. I went on one of his. I would love to interview Naisha. I ate at one of her restaurants. Amazing. She's an awesome chef.
Yeah.
So since we're speaking about chefs.
Sure.
We're going to do. Wait. The blindfold is in with the microphones.
Do I have to taste something?
We're going to do a taste test.
Oh, no. Is it something weird?
Nope. Nothing weird. We're just going to test your chef palate.
Test my palate. Right now, I got champagne all over it.
Champagne on the brain?
I heard it's a palate cleanser. I just made that up.
Yeah, I do a little taste test.
Really?
Blind taste test with all my guests.
Wait, is it? It's not bananas. I'm allergic.
No bananas.
Okay.
Are you allergic to anything else?
Soy.
No soy.
Okay.
Like gluten?
Crickets. Spiders.
You think I would serve
centipedes?
Fine in.
Durin.
You're just naming off things you don't want to eat.
What else?
I'm not gonna do any of that to you. I'm gonna chef you. I'm just gonna throw some chefy stuff at you.
Pickled pig feet. Chitlins.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So,
okay.
Pull the headphones off.
Oh, all right.
Throw this blindfold on. Oh. If I'd have told you that you were gonna do a blind taste test, would you have got on the plane?
Yeah, I would have, because I like to live life on the edge.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
As long as there's no spiders.
I feel like people think I'm trying to set them up, and I'm not. We're just gonna do like a full on like Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen test your palate.
No, okay. All right.
What I'm gonna do is I am going to put a bite on a spoon and I'm gonna feed it to you.
Oh my god! I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You already got the blindfold on.
I don't know. I always get myself in trouble with blindfolds.
What do you like to do with blindfolds?
Have you? No, I'm just kidding. Nothing. All right.
Okay. Are we good, guys?
Like pinatas.
Oh, like pinatas? That you get in trouble with pinatas?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll say open up, and then I'll give you the spoon. So here we go. First bite. Open up.
No. Okay. I'm scared.
It's not bad. I gave you an easy one first.
This is a lot.
It was a big bite. I definitely didn't need to give you that much, but it helps. More flavor. You really don't know what this is yet?
Hold on. Is some type of fruit? Okay, wait, no.
Come on.
Oh, my nose is home. Who is this? It's probably something I don't eat. I hope I'm not allergic to this. It's something that has like a skin on it, like a peel. What the fuck is? Wait, home. Is it some type of melon? No. I know this.
You do know this. It's a very important ingredient.
It's probably something I don't eat though, because I wonder if I'm allergic to it. It's
You're not allergic to it.
I can't. My sinuses. Hold on. I don't. Okay, let me just guess something.
Guess something.
I'm gonna go with. What it says?
Mariah.
Should I know what this is?
Yes. I'm scared to even give you the rest because the rest are way harder.
Really?
Yeah.
It's something crispy, but it tastes like it has a fruit essence to it.
That we could maybe stretch to get there.
Oh, is it zucchini? No, it's not.
No.
What is it? It's gonna bother me if I know what it is and you say it. It's not an apple.
Are you ready?
Just tell me what it is.
It's a carrot.
Oh, a carrot! I knew it. Okay. I was close. I feel like my nose is stuffy. Like I can't taste something. Okay.
Take a sip of your champs. Yep, forward. There you go.
A carrot. All right. That's horrible.
I was going to give you something more difficult.
Who takes bites of carrots like that? If it was just like a regular...
Exactly.
Oh, that's the point. Okay.
That's why I chopped it up.
All right.
Do you need a switch or can I go?
No, we're good. Go for it.
All right. Open up. No, open up. There we go.
I don't like it. I don't like this. It's like a vegetable. I don't like it.
Yeah, it is a vegetable.
Is it really, or are you just saying that?
No, it really is. 5, 4, 3.
This vegetable doesn't have any taste. It almost tastes like a jicama. I don't like it.
Zucchini.
Ah! I was gonna say zucchini. Damn it! But I said that for the first one. I messed up.
I wasn't gonna give you zucchini, and then you said zucchini on the first one, so I pulled it out.
I was gonna say zucchini.
Okay.
Was it raw zucchini?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a lot harder than I thought.
Right? You gotta do this at home.
Okay.
All right. So this one,
I think my sinuses aren't right. Okay.
you might immediately think you know what this is, but then there is one more name to it. Which I don't even know why I'm telling you all that.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay, open up.
I already know what this is.
You think?
It's an olive. No, a pimento.
No.
Wait.
These other games that you've played with blindfolds on, do you make these noises?
Possibly. I'm trying to... It's not an olive?
Not an olive.
Oh, is it a caper?
Caper berry.
Okay.
So it's a big caper.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay.
1 out of 3.
1 out of 3.
Winner.
We gotta do one more, but I'm scared to give you anything.
Why?
What are you allergic to?
I don't have
again?
anything to rinse it. I'm just allergic to a lot of fruit
Oh, okay. All right.
and walnuts.
Last one.
Okay.
Open up.
And avocado.
Not avocado.
Okay.
You're really allergic to avocado? These are all very chefy things.
I know what this is.
What is it?
It's Parmesan.
Yay!
Parmesan
Went out on a
Reggiano.
bang.
Or Asiago. Kind of tastes like. Yeah.
All right, you can take the blindfold off.
Okay. Yeah, it's a Parmesan. I can taste it.
I was going to give you a pickled mustard seed, but after your carrot.
That carrot one, I couldn't figure it out. I think it was the texture of the carrot. I couldn't figure it out.
You know what it is? It's carrots are one of those things where
like
it's like
apple.
When you see it and you're grabbing the carrot and you take a bite, like you know it's a carrot. Did you? That's the other thing about being season 1. You didn't get to watch any Next Level Chef to prepare.
Nope.
So did you watch any other cooking shows to get any kind of? You just went in.
You know what I watched? Naked and Afraid and Alone.
Why that?
Because they made it seem like it was like survival, like Bare Bottoms kitchens. I was thinking like Bare Bottoms. I was like, I need to make my own fire. I need to like hunt. Like they made it seem like it was going to be so extreme. And so when we got into the basement and we had the burners, I was like, ooh, there's burners. Okay, I'm good. Like me and A were both like, she was like, yeah, girl, I'm not in the dirt. I was like, I know. I thought I was going to be in the dirt, like rubbing sticks together.
So they told you all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a good sport on that.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to start doing blind taste testing at home.
Yeah, do it at home. Strengthen that palate. Okay, here's the deal. I love that you came out. I love that we made this happen. I know you got to get going. So every time you come to LA, please let me know.
Okay.
And then we can chat again and again.
Let's do it. I might be out here a little bit more often. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what happens.
I think I covered. I covered a lot of it, but I do have a lot more. I started realizing when we were talking, we have so much in common. I want to know more about your private chef life and all that. But what do you got coming up? What can you promote? What do you got? Where can people find you?
You can find me at I am Mariah. That's where it's at. I_am_Mariah. My Instagram has all my information. It's my website, private chef thing, traveling private chef. Anywhere in the world, you need some private chef elite services.
Book this girl.
Book me. That's it. Next big goal is cookbook. It's going to be an international coffee table book, entertaining and food, culture.
Cool.
So, yeah.
You have a publisher for that?
Not as of yet.
Not as of yet. If I know of anyone else, send them your way.
Yeah, please send them my way. Still working out all the logistics.
Yeah.
Because I don't, like my life, I don't know what I'm doing.
My buddy Michael's in Austin. He's got a publisher.
Oh, okay.
He was on MasterChef season 10, and he's on this new season of Back to Win with me.
Oh, really?
He's done 3 cookbooks since MasterChef.
Have you done a cookbook?
I have not. I don't. I want to do a cookbook. It's going to be a tell-all. I'm gonna make it more like my autobiography, and then I'm gonna have pictures of food and some recipes.
Same. That's what I kind of want it to be.
Yeah. I felt we're so much.
Oh my
alike.
gosh, are we like best friends now?
Do you want to do karate in the garage?
I kind of want to. Can we?
All right, let's wrap this up.
Build bunk beds.
You went 2 for 2, so I'm giving you a cookie.
Okay.
Take it to your lunch.
I will.
As a offering.
I'm so sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
Okay.
And let's take a quick photo and wrap it up. All right, thank you, everybody.
Right, mascara, everything. Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.
And action.